start recording. Okay. Just
Good evening, people, workers of Singapore. Happy Labour Day.
Oh!
I am Staffan, a registered nurse. I would like to start by asking, has nursing lost its meaning? As a nurse, I often receive feedback from patients emphasizing on the long waiting hours in the emergency department. In addition, waiting time for admission in the ward can take up to 3 days. There are no nurses to attend to patients when the call bells are pressed. Treatments are delayed as the nurses has to look after a large number of patients. No one is free to feed the patients as they are attending to other issues. What are the nurses busy with if they are not at the patient's bedside? Healthcare is the foundation of our lives. Never was this clearer than when COVID hit. Whichever profession you are in, housekeeper, waiter, bus driver, minister, or even a president, when our health is compromised, we find ourselves heading to the hospital to seek treatment. How would we feel if we are stepping into a hospital with no nurses? All we see are patients screaming in pain, family crying for their loved ones, children panicking and running all over the place, and the dying people are left unattended. Is this the future we want?
No!
Nurses are leaving for many reasons. Crazy shift that end late and have to start early the following day. Unjustifiable workload, that means they have to do OT even when they are not getting paid to do OT. Shortage of manpower is a daily news. Unable to get the leave they need every year because there might not be any slots. Many are unable to be promoted because of the quota each year. But if the same staff decides to leave that year, the managers will tell that they are planning to promote the staff that year. A coincidence that happened every single year. Foreign staff have housing allowance, but the allowance does not match the high cost of renting a room in Singapore.
Awesome.
Staff are abused, but it becomes our fault for not being able to handle the situation. Hospitals say that patients are our priority, but have you ever seen the higher management talking to a patient? How are we to learn the right things if the priority is wrong? Every year, many nurses are leaving the industry, but nothing is being done to make them feel valued. Yes, this year we have the staff retention bonus, but how long is that going to be able to keep us happy? How will it solve the many problems that we continue to face? Nurses are drained out and just looking for a place they can be happy to work at. Climbing the ladder at work might not be the focus anymore as their mental health is the priority. Nurses are still going the extra mile to care for the patients because that is what they are committed to. However, are the managers going the extra mile to look out for the well-being of the nurses?
No!
Maybe if the management shift the idea away from making profit, medical tourism, or managing their reputation through the PR exercises, but instead focus on the well-being of the nurses, perhaps then more nurses will choose to stay on in hospitals. If nurses, doctors, and others who work in hospitals are well taken care of, patients will automatically be taken care of. Once they feel respected and valuable, they will continue to do more for the organization, and the manpower will increase too, as people are loving the culture there. Yes, the patients will always be flowing in, because people will always have health problems, but the culture of the workplace determines how the job is done. Nurses' wages needs to go up. We need a strict cut-off at 20-hour shift for all healthcare workers as the first step. This includes doctors as well. Eventually, once manpower can be increased, we need to move towards 12-hour shifts. No one should be forced to take on consecutive shifts. We deserve to rest. When we are exhausted, sleep deprived, we cannot care for the patients and we start to make more mistakes. Nurses also deserve to be paid during their lunch breaks, which we are not getting at the moment. Nurses like mothers, teachers, and others provide life-saving care. A Singapore that stands up for healthcare workers is one that goes further than just clapping for us. It is one that takes care of our well-being and let us thrive.
Oh!
Singapore boasts of world-class healthcare institutions, but this cannot be true until the welfare of the workers, of the people who work in these institutions, are prioritized. Healthcare workers need to have the right to speak up for their working conditions without the fear of being fired.
Yeah.
We need to be allowed to organize and demand for the rights we deserve.
Yeah.
So workers of Singapore, will you stand with us?
Yeah.
Power to the people.
The people.
I would like to end my speech by asking you all one thing. Has nursing lost its meaning?
No.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hello, Auntie.
大家好，我今天说的是关于巴士工友所面对的问题。我开始，工会是工友和雇主之间的交流桥梁与沟通管道。工会必须要中立与公平，处理任何事件必须以法为据。以法为宗。
Labor unions are a means of communication between employers and workers. Unions must be fair and impartial, and how they handle disputes should be based on law.
我曾经从事保安工作，公司只给固定的薪金，没有 OT， 所以要求工会协助，没有得到理想的结果。工会在商议过程中不中立、不专业，看到偏袒一面的处理方式，我非常遗憾。
When I worked as a security guard, my company only gave me a fixed salary without OT. I approached the union to seek help, but nothing came out of it. During negotiations, the union was unprofessional. It was disheartening to see the union take the side of the employers.
我在2017年加入 SBS， 成为 SBS 的巴士司机，也面对公司少算 OT 的薪酬的问题，以及少算休息日工作的薪酬。
In 2017, I joined SBS as a bus driver, and once again, overtime pay became an issue, as well as rest day pay.
同样，我要求工会协助，工会安排一次的工会、雇主、司机双方的会议，过后没有下文了。工会敷衍了事，司机也只能上法庭寻求公道。但是走法律程序是非常昂贵的，不是普通工友阶级能负担得起的。
Similarly, I sought help from the union, which arranged a tripartite meeting between the employers, drivers, and the union. But that was all they did. The problems were glossed over. We could only try to seek justice through the court. This was very costly, more than what ordinary working class people can afford.
最后，我们法律诉讼最后在去年失败。
We lost our legal battle.
当从法律诉讼过后 ，SBS 马上修改雇用合约，注明 OT 薪水是从每星期工作44小时后算起，而不是48小时算起。
But not long after, SBS quickly amended its employment contracts to specify that OT is paid after 44 hours of work a week instead of 48 hours.
我心中有大疑问，为什么 SBS 要经过了长时间的一切法律程序后，才选择要根据劳工法令每星期工作44小时？要这样折腾巴士司机，难道是要司机消耗金钱，展示 SBS 强大势力，压制其他的司机不可出声？是否是警告性 后果自负。
This made me question, why did it take this long for SBS, after spending so much time at court, to finally decide on 44-hour work weeks as stipulated by our laws? Why put us drivers through this ordeal? Was it meant to wear us down financially so they can demonstrate how powerful the company is, or to warn other drivers to not speak up if they don't want to face consequences?
关于 SBS 84世纪法律诉讼的内容、审讯过程以及一切证据，将会出版书分享经历，希望各界公众人士对相关案件有兴趣，请多多支持订阅。
Details about these lawsuits against SBS Transit, including the trial proceedings and the evidence, will be published in a book. We hope that members of the public will take an interest in this case and give us your support.
Thank you.
哦，
工会在公有的业绩当中扮演是非常重要的角色，必须要专业、中立、公平、依法无私。
Unions play an important role in the lives of the working class. Therefore, it must act with professionalism, impartiality, fairness, and in accordance to the law.
我上网寻找联合国工会规则，发现新加坡工会与联合国工会规则有差别。比如，工会里重要职位不能有政治人物、雇主或者是高层管理人员，避免利益冲突。
When I looked up the United Nations International Labour Organization rules, I found it different from Singapore's union regulations. For example, politicians, employers, and key managerial position holders cannot assume key positions in unions in order to avoid potential conflicts of interest.
可是，本土工会重要的职位全是政治人物，公司董事局董事身居要职。在这种情况下，如何能公正、公平，以及如何处理利益冲突？
Yet, key positions in local unions are all held by politicians and members of the company's board. How can there be impartiality and fairness when the union mediates conflicts of interest?
我在此借这个机会，让更多的工人知道明白。
I hope to take this opportunity to help fellow workers understand.
有些事不是忍受、忍让就可以解决，只是会让问题更加恶劣，也可能会影响到其他的工人，也可能让违法违规的行为更多。
That grinning and bearing is not the solution to everything. It will make things worse, both for us and other workers too, and allow illegal workplace practices to escalate.
我相信没有任何人可以超越法律，我们应该一起捍卫法律，让这社会更加公正、公平，创造更美好的工作环境。
I believe that no one is above the law, so let us safeguard the legal system together so as to shape a fairer society and a better work environment.
哦，
也让家人生活更加美满，让家人不用担心害怕，让全世界知道这里是法治社会，是公正公平的国家。
Let our families not have to worry for us and be able to go about their lives with a peace of mind. Let the world know that we live in a society ruled by law and a country built on justice.
Thank you，谢谢。
Thank you，谢谢。哦。